Joining me now with more is Wang. He's founder, chair, and principal analyst at Constellation Research. Ray, it's great to see you. Hello on this Thursday morning. And let's start with Meta. That stock seems to be getting the best reception in the wake of its results last night. What should our viewers know?
I think the important thing is the exponential efficiency that Mark Zuckerberg talked about way back is happening. They are cutting costs like crazy. They're using AI internally to actually generate their code. And more importantly, they're sitting on the open source AI revolution because Llama is basically an open source AI that lots of people are building on top of. They've got the data, they've got the AI capability, and more importantly, they've got the social network. And those things are important, especially when you're trying to compete in AI. The other piece is important is he hasn't given up on the reality classes. We were out in Davos and you'd seen them everywhere. That's one of the big things they're talking about. He's intent on getting the virtual reality and the reality labs piece of the business out there. And so there's a lot at Meta, a lot is on fire. The ad business is solid. The only companies they have to worry about on ads are Amazon, Google, and in some cases, we're going to see a company like Walmart emerge in that ad business, and you're going to see that coming out just like the way Amazon ads took the market on fire. But overall, I mean, Zuck plans to keep on investing in AI, and more importantly, they're going to be one of the players.
Is Meta the leader in this space? We look at the reactions this morning. Again, we'll get to Microsoft and Tesla, which also reported results last night and are part of the Magnificent Seven. Among guests that I've been speaking to recently, Ray, on the show, they seem as if Meta is the rock solid tech company out there right now.
Oh, Meta is definitely one of the leaders in AI, and I think that's not going to be, people are not going to forget that. It's not just the hyperscalers like an Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. It's companies that are putting AI to use, and Meta is going to be one of the ones that's going to be able to take that to use into consumer hands much more quickly than anything else. But we're going to see AI coming all different directions. It's not about the players that are actually building the AI. It's the players that are actually going to take AI and embrace it into their business models.
So to that end, let's turn to Microsoft, because that stock was down a few percentage points, in fact, in the wake of their results last night. What is your takeaway from Microsoft?
I think the important thing to remember at Microsoft is they have one of the best sales executives in the world. Judson Olive is basically the best enterprise salesperson, and because of that, they sometimes outsell their capacity. So what they're showing is $13 billion in AI revenues, and that's huge compared to what everybody else is doing, but they need more CapEx to deliver what's into their data centers. They've got to modernize their data centers. You have situations, for example, where you have Oracle is their provider to handle Bing searches, right? It's not happening on Azure because they're out of capacity. So it's a good thing. They're going to be one of the winners in the AI age, but the challenge for them is to get that CapEx spending up so that they can actually compete and take the capacity that they're selling. The other big piece of what they have at the moment is the fact that they have lowered their average age of user, especially coming from GitHub, coming from other areas. They are now seen as one of the leaders, especially in terms of getting to younger users and getting to the younger demographic across the board. And so they've done a great job doing that.
Ray, I also want to ask about Tesla, because even though Elon Musk has certainly been solidified as a key ally for Trump in this new administration, and we saw that on display at the inauguration just a little over a week ago, we do know that Tesla didn't fare up to expectations in this latest quarter. Why is that?
So the challenge is the fact the vehicle business is slowing, right? And if you think about what Tesla is able to do, their big competition is Chinese EVs in the long run. There's no competition on the West because they can't get to the margins. And when the subsidies go away, there's no way they can play. So the tariffs are going to be the only way to help them until they get production costs lower. China will be able to compete in a way nobody will believe because they can get to 0 cents per kilowatt hour on power, and they've got the economies of scale on robotic manufacturing. And we're going to see more and more of that. Tesla is one of the few companies in the US and on the West that can actually deliver on robotic manufacturing, being able to take anything from their Optimus robots down to the completely automated manufacturing lines. That's what we're going to need to be able to win in manufacturing for the US. Now, the bright side of the business is the energy business. I love the Megapack business. If you watch that carefully, that part of the business grew almost 119%, and that's really what you want to look, 113%. What you want to look at is the fact that we're going to need a lot of energy storage if we're going to play this game. It's an all-in energy strategy going forward, and the AI race is about lots of data, lots of chips, but a lot of energy. And that's what you're going to have to play with.
And Ray, of course, Apple earnings on deck this afternoon. It too has its hands in artificial intelligence. What do you want to hear from Tim Cook?
I think what people want to understand from Tim Cook is that Apple Intelligence is helping sales. It's keeping users there. It's leading to growth in terms of the iPhone market. And of course, how many more iPhones can you sell? That's the challenge. Is it driving services revenues? That's where the highlight is. And the other piece is what we're going to see and hopefully see is that the China market has stabilized. Has it gone up? Are they gaining traction in China? And of course, and India, which is their other large market. Winning in China and winning in India is really the key to Apple's growth in terms of handsets. Winning services business with Apple Intelligence is their future growth. And of course, what are they going to do next? What are they doing in terms of healthcare? How they're entering those markets? That's what people are looking for.
Do you think that the U.S. is ahead of the game when it comes to artificial intelligence?
We are definitely ahead in artificial intelligence. In this AI arms race, what we realize is that we were so susceptible to a psyops operation by China, but those announcements saying we can do X at whatever cost, well, they used a lot of the stuff that the US created to get there. The point we have to worry about is that AI's gotten more expensive. In the internet era, things were decentralized, they were open, there were lots of players, and prices came down. The problem here in the AI era, it is centralized, it is closed, there are a few players, and it is too expensive. And it's a good thing that showed up this week in terms of what we saw from DeepSeek, because we know we can deliver better. We can do it faster, better, and cheaper.
Ray Wang, founder, chair, and principal analyst at Constellation Research. Ray, thank you so much for joining.
Hey, thanks for having me.